How are you today? Welcome. This is Pastor Peter Christian Hessing with another one of our interesting programs on anti-nuclear boomerangs, cutting, shredding nuclear missiles so that we can have nuclear disarmament and save the world from nuclear destruction and have peace around the world. And again, this is Pastor Peter Christian Hessing, hoping you're having a great day and that you are seeking God, Jehovah, Yahweh, Allah, Jesus, and God and Jesus is blessing you and you are in the best of health. I just wanted to read you briefly some verses from one of my favorite Psalms here that tells us to seek out to God, cry out to God. As it says, anyone calling on God's name will be saved. And we're in a situation now in America and around the world where we have to cry out to God and ask Him to save us and to resolve the problems that we know face in America and around the world. This is Psalm 142. I'm going to read it briefly, just a few verses. With my voice to Jehovah God, I proceeded to call for aid. With my voice to Jehovah, I began to cry for favor. Before Him I kept pouring out my concern. Before Him I continued to tell about my own distress. When my spirit fainted away within me, when you yourself knew my roadway there. So it tells us to cry out to God. It says in verse 5, I called to Jehovah for aid. I said, you are my refuge, my share in the land of the living ones. Do pay attention to my entreating cry, for I have become very impoverished. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I am. Do bring my soul out of the dungeon there. Around me let the righteous ones gather, because you deal appropriately with me. So here in the Psalm 142, it tells us to cry out to God. Also Psalm 143. O Jehovah God, hear my prayer. Do give ear to my entreating. In your faithfulness, answer me in your righteousness. So it tells us to cry out to God. As it says, anyone calling on God's name will be saved. So I wanted briefly to talk about this travel ban that has been imposed by President Trump and his new administration. They're trying to prevent terrorist attacks here in America. And of course, you have probably millions of people demonstrating around the world against the travel ban. And I understand their concerns. I do agree that we have to secure and better protect America and the world from terrorism. I live on the border here. I live on the Mexican border in Arizona, and I know how important it is that we secure our borders. Here in Arizona, we have a 3-layered metal fence. We don't have that much problem with people trying to come across illegally. Because we have a 3-layered metal fence. This is what I think we should be building instead of trying to build a concrete graffiti fence that is just going to increase the amount of drug cartels, increase the amount of drug traffickers there. So I hope that President Trump will listen to reason here. There. Another concern I really have as someone living on the border, on the Mexican border here, is that it seems to me that President Trump and his administration, that they seem to want to start a war with Mexico, a trade war with Mexico. And I think that's a very bad idea. It's unnecessary. Our exports to Mexico in 2015 was nearly $300 billion. Mexico is our second or third largest trading partner. And we definitely should not start a war with Mexico and the other Latin American countries. What I also want to talk about is that what I feel that Mr. Trump and his administration should do, one of the things they should do is set up a 24/7 anti-terrorism international emergency alarm system that people who are traveling can use. That you can set up a website, a phone system where you can check the identities of people coming into the country, and also you can monitor the borders, monitor all the borders. If you set up a 24/7 anti-terrorism emergency travel immigration border system, that means that people who are traveling, you have to realize that the majority of people coming into America are not terrorists. The terrorists are a very tiny, fraction, a very tiny percentage of the people coming in, and it's sort of unfair to penalize the majority of millions of people who are not terrorists, and they are being penalized. So if you create this 24/7 anti-terrorism reporting recording system, this would really mean that anybody who is coming in, before they come in, they can call this system or go on a website. Go on a website, put in their names, you have parents, mother, father, children coming in, put in their names on this website, and put in references, where they worked, why they're coming to America, the schools they've gone to, give the phone number and the address of the police or the security or military in their country or city where they live, and give references that you can check their background. So you have this website or this phone system that they can call in and file all this information before they leave their country. Because you got to realize that they're going to want to have last minute checks when they get to the airport. But having this international alarm 24/7 website or hotline system, they can file all of the necessary information. They're, what city they're coming from, if they can get a background check, the police or the in that area of town who know them, people from schools, universities, places they work. So you have references to the businesses, if they're business people, businesses that they have. All of that is filed already on this website. When they get into America and before they get off, before they allowed entry, then the customs people have that information there. The customs people are going to make a last minute check. And what you can also be doing in the last minute, you can have them fingerprinted, photographed. You want to bring in modern technology, eye screening, all the modern technology, photograph them, you fingerprint them. There's a last minute check of them before they enter the airport. So they can actually have a phone number, all the information ready. So when they get to the customs and to come into America to be let in, they can give that information. Okay, here's the phone number of the police or the security people where I lived, in whatever country I live. If they are claiming political persecution, then of course you got to tell the customs people, well, we are claiming asylum or we're claiming political persecution and so forth. That's a different category. But what I'm saying, by building this website, 24/7 emergency anti-terrorism alarm website, all that information before they get in, that is already there and checked out. That information can be checked by all the security agencies in America, the FBI, Homeland Security, all of the CIA, all of these, the State Department, all of that is checked out 24/7, and then you have the last minute check by the customs people. So this it will be a 24/7 system round the clock that the FBI can check, the Homeland Security can check, the State Department can check, and they can actually call that security police when the plane lands, or while if they can call on the plane when the plane lands, they put through that phone call to the police in where the country they're coming from, and so that they're not kept back at the airport. So that's the type of system that Trump and his administrations need to build, and we also need to build that on the border. What we need is the same system on the border, a 24/7 border anti-terrorism and alarm system, 24/7 alarm system, where everybody on the border can call 24/7 to the border patrol to report if they have illegal immigration or people smuggling drugs across the border. But that's what Trump has to do: build a 24/7, put up radar, put up cameras, and so forth. Because you're not going to be able to build a straight wall across the border, because you got probably over 1,000 miles of the border where the farmers have contiguous land, and you can't put a wall, a straight wall through that, because they got hundreds of heads of cattle that have to graze back and forth. They have farms that you can't put a wall through their property. You're going to bankrupt them, and you're going to push the land values down by building a concrete graffiti wall. You're going to have just ghettos and slums along the border. So Trump needs to set up a 24/7 radar system with the farmers who have contiguous land. Then you can put up have cameras and so forth, and where those farmers have a 24/7 system that is with cameras and recorders that record the people going back and forth. And you have those farmers who have contiguous property. Let them file at least a daily report on whether illegal immigrants are coming in or out, or they're smuggling. Build a 24/7 radar reporting system that the people on the border, well, you can say they file a daily report or a weekly report or a 24/7 system. But I think what we really need to do is to have a 24/7 anti-nuclear system there to improve our anti-nuclear defense. But a concrete wall is a waste of money. It's going to be a graffiti wall. You can put up solar panels, wind turbines along the border, and you can't put up a blank wall or a blank 55-foot high wall like in places like the Rio Grande. There's a Rio Grande River, and that you can't put up. There's a Rio Grande River in Texas that you can't put up such of a high 55-foot wall, because the ground is soft. You're going to have floods. You're going to have landslides. You can't put, the ground cannot support such a heavy wall, and you have a international boundary laws and commission that says you can't interfere with the flow of the Rio Grande River, because you will flood out a lot of people. There's a lot of people living on the border. If you mess around with the flow of the river, you're going to flood out a lot of people. So Trump has to sit and listen to reason. I'm an American citizen. I'm a bicentennial. I grew up with Donald Trump. I like Trump, but he has to turn away from this dictatorial, authoritarian approach and sit and listen to reason there, and not waste money on a blank concrete graffiti wall. He has to listen to reason and take a varied, intelligent approach to the border. One of the problems is that Trump does not believe in modern technology. He doesn't believe in innovation. He doesn't believe or support solar energy or wind turbines. You can put up solar energy and wind turbines along in certain parts of the border and build factories. You can build cars, build airplanes, build computers, produce food, clothes. There's so much that you can do. But let him know that he shouldn't waste money, and the Congress, not to waste money on a blank concrete wall. You're going to have more drug dealers, more people being killed by gangs and drug dealers. A graffiti wall is not the solution there. So I also feel what he really should be doing is having a national job program throughout the Midwest. Don't waste money on the border. It's not going to benefit Americans. You have a national job program in all the states: New York, New Hampshire, Illinois, Michigan, Arizona, California, all through this Iowa, Idaho, Indiana, have Wisconsin, have a national job program in all these states, Texas, Miami, there, all across the country, Oregon, Alaska, Nevada, all of these states there, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, have a job program in all of these places to create jobs for all Americans, build factories. As I told you, that we designed a website where we can have 50 million Americans having 50 million online businesses to bring them out of poverty and fix up homes for the homeless. Don't waste money on a blank graffiti wall. It's not going to benefit Americans. It's a waste of money. Okay, I'm going to be talking more about this, but as God commanded the people in Israel many years ago, He told them, take care of the poor, the children that have no parents, the widows, and the foreigners. He didn't tell them to deport anybody. So we have to do that. And I can also read you from Jesus's the Good Samaritan. I'll just read you briefly here. Jesus, the Samaritan, which is in Luke, Luke 10:29 there. But wanting to prove himself righteous, the man said to Jesus, where is my neighbor? In reply, Jesus said, a certain man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among robbers, who both stripped him and inflicted blows and went off, leaving him half dead. Now, by coincidence, a certain priest was going down over the road, but when he saw him, he went by on the other side. Likewise, a Levite also, when he got down to the place and saw him, went by on the opposite side. But a certain Samaritan traveling on the road came up upon him, and seeing him, he was moved with pity. So he approached him and bound up his wounds, pouring oil and wine upon him. Then he mounted him upon his beast and brought him to an inn and took care of him. And the next day he took out the 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said, take care of them, and whatever you spend besides that, I will repay you when I come back. So that's a good Samaritan. We need to be the good Samaritan and do love our neighbors. Love our neighbor. Mexico is our neighbor. Let us have peace with Mexico, not declare war in Mexico. Let us try and help the refugees coming out of Syria with a proper 24/7 vetting system. This is Pastor Peter Christian Hessing. I'll be talking more about this. And if you have a company that wants to build our patented anti-nuclear boomerang cutting saw drone system that can cut up nuclear missiles and send them back, please contact me, Peter Hessing at Outlook.com, or call me at 520-220-6994. And look for my book coming out, the 24/7 Safety Inspection to Save the World from Nuclear War and Global Warming, the Nuclear Boomerang Power Saw Age. And I have some music coming out. We have Graffiti Wall coming out, President of Reggae Rap Hip Hop, Miss America Hearts, The Last Wedding, Reggae Cowboy. A lot of great music coming out. You can get it on Amazon.com, or you can get on Tidal by putting in my name, Peter Hessing. Thank you, and do get to me again on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. This is Pastor Peter Christian. Thank you. God bless. Peace and love. Give your hearts and life to God in Jesus. Peace.